Hello and welcome to the Cloud Therapist Shorts. I'm Richard Simon. I am reporting to you from the Open Source Summit in Vienna. Okay, so we are doing some talks with people at the event. So let me speak to Frederic. Frederic, can you do us a quick intro to yourself?
So I'm Frederic. I'm the founder and CEO of this company called Polar Signals. We do continuous profiling. So as opposed to traditional profiling where you may look at a single individual process, we profile your entire production infrastructure. And that allows you then to, down to the line number, see where resources are being spent so that you can do something about that. That can be for cost reduction reasons, that can be for improving latency, those kinds of things. We utilize eBPF in order to capture this data at very low overhead, and then we offer a cloud service where you can query this just like any other observability system, basically.
Perfect. And things like cloud cost management and FinOps and stuff like that has come up quite a lot in the last maybe 18 months, 2 years or so. What have sort of customers been telling you about that? What have they been asking for? And what sort of challenges are you kind of seeing from them?
Yeah, so typically with Polar Signals, Polar Signals kind of starts where things like kube cost end. Right? With kube cost, it really helps you to right-size your environments, right-size your deployments. But Polar Signals starts where you're already, sizing your workloads correctly, but now you want to actually make them more efficient, right? Improve the code so that you can then again lower the resources that are required for your workload. So typically, I would say the customers that are most successful with our product are not actually those that are seeking cost reduction. The cost reduction aspect is typically a nice to have. It's more those kinds of customers that get a competitive advantage of being high performance, high frequency trading companies, database companies, any company where your core value proposition is building fast software.
Right, so it's actually more diverse than just kind of the cost side of it. It's really anything that will save in terms of resources, and then customers can translate that into whatever they're looking for to actually achieve. Perfect. Okay, and what's kind of been your sort of take on the show? How far so far? What's kind of some of the interesting things, some of the themes maybe you've picked up on? I know you and I have been quite busy with the panel and everything, so we've not had as much exposure as we kind of wanted to on the show, but just kind of walking around and stuff, what's kind of been the vibe for you?
Yeah, I think as with most of these kinds of conferences, for me at least, the hallway tracks tends to be what stands out. Meeting people, new people, old people, right? Like people who I've known for some time, maybe haven't seen in a while. These conferences tend to bring the best of the world together, right? So I think that tends to be the highlight for me.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's always sort of the people I've had, some people sort of I've bumped into as well, and just had great conversations, which is always fantastic. Okay, so just going back onto the sort of the cost side of things a little bit. I appreciate you said that the approach is really kind of looking at all of the resources. Is the sort of Polar Signals sort of approach also helpful for those customers who are maybe already established in the cloud and kind of want to make use of that sort of cost optimization or resource optimization, shall we say? Is that kind of a space that you would also work in?
Yeah, definitely. The thing with profiling is it's still a relatively new kid on the block, right? So what we find most of the time with customers who've never seen profiling data across their entire infrastructure is all of a sudden, we set it up, and all of a sudden they see, wow, there's this thing that's using 30% of all my CPU time. I totally did not expect that, right? And this happens time and time again. And even with the most performance-conscious companies that you could possibly think of, like extremely high-performance databases. The thing is, almost nobody has seen this kind of data about their infrastructure, and unless you see the data, you're just not gonna know, right? Like, and nothing behaves quite like production. With Polar Signals, one of the really unique things is, like I said, coming back to, we're not just looking at a single process at a single point in time. We can show you what the entire lifetime of your application across all your nodes, across time, looks like, and that's truly representative of not just a single point in time, but of all time.
Right. So it's like an ongoing thing as well. I mean, it's not like a maybe sort of a specific exercise that you do. It can be like an ongoing sort of iterative process, and people can actually continue to get information out of it, and that will, I guess, just kind of lead maybe to more optimization, right? That's kind of really the idea, that you're kind of learning about your production environment and you're being able to optimize the resources that you have there, or even maybe improve on the performance or identify bottlenecks, as you said, and things like that.
Definitely. We also have one really cool feature where you can kind of diff the profiling data on any arbitrary dimensions. So one of the ways that a lot of our users like to use this feature is, you roll out a new version of your software and you have some sort of performance regression, and now you don't need to figure out what was the git commit that caused this, right? Like now you can just go compare all of the profiling data of the new version with all of the profiling data of the previous version, and boom, down to the line number, you'd see where new CPU cycles are now being spent. And there's no this like searching for the needle in the haystack. The product will immediately tell you where that CPU time is now being spent.
Fantastic. So profiling, that's the operative word. Yeah. Frederic, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that's about it from the Open Source Summit. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.